Bedtime Story. Sweet dreams with magical stories. Once upon a time, in the heart of a rustic village, there resided a young girl named Cinderella. She dwelled in a cozy cottage with her parents and her dear grandmother, who was known for her warm smile and wise words. She had a bunch of friends in her farm. Each creature brought its own unique charm to Cinderella's life as she frolicked around the family farm with her animal friends. Lovely cattle, a cheerful hen, funny pig, friendly sheep, a cow, and little duck, her days filled with joy. One bright morning, as the sun painted the sky with hues of pink and gold, Cinderella ventured out to visit her beloved friends. But instead of finding them gathered in their usual spots, she stumbled upon a peculiar sight, a shimmering box nestled amidst the tall grass. Curiosity dancing in her eyes, Cinderella approached the box and gently lifted its lid. Inside, she discovered a small piece of parchment, its edges tinged with magic. With bated breath, she read the words inscribed upon it. Once a day, touch the box and imagine what you need. It shall be granted, but at the cost of something dear. Cinderella's laughter echoed through the meadow as she dismissed the message as a playful prank. As she reached out to touch the box, with a whispered wish for toys to play with, she watched in amazement as the box filled with an array of colorful delights. Cinderella giggled happily as she scooped up the toys and hurried home, her heart dancing with excitement. Bursting through the door, she couldn't wait to share her amazing discovery with her parents. As they gathered around, her eyes shining with anticipation, she emptied the box, revealing the magical treasures inside. Their faces lit up with wonder and amazement, filling the room with joy and laughter. Days passed, and each morning brought new desires to Cinderella's heart. From pretty dresses, shoes, money, to shiny jewelry, the box granted her every wish without fail. Yet, amidst her newfound wealth, she found herself drifting further from her animal friends, their once frequent visits now dwindling to mere memories. One day, while Cinderella was walking around the farm, she noticed that something was different. The animals seemed quiet and sad, unlike their usual cheerful selves, their faces showing worry and sadness.
What troubles you, my dear friends?
Cinderella asked, her brow furrowing with worry. The wise old pig stepped forward, his eyes filled with sorrow.
Each day, one of our companions disappears without a trace.
Sheep explained.
We fear that we may be next.
As Cinderella uncovered the truth behind her friends' disappearances, she felt a heavy weight in her heart. She knew she had to tell the others what had happened. Gathering her animal friends around her, she explained everything she had learned. They listened with sad eyes, their hearts filled with sorrow for their missing companions. Feeling upset, they turned to Cinderella. They begged her to find a way to bring back those who had gone missing. And with tears in her eyes, Cinderella really wanted to fix things. But she also loved the treasures from the box.
I'm so sorry about that.
She said, feeling torn.
I don't know how to get them back.
Return all the things the box gave you and ask for your friends back.
One of her friends suggested, but Cinderella hesitated.
I can't lose my things,
she said sadly, and she went back home, leaving her friends feeling upset and disappointed. The next day, Cinderella's desires grew, and she wished for fancy items from the box once again. Like before, the box granted her wishes without fail, but her joy was short-lived when her mother's panicked voice pierced the air.
Cinderella, come quickly.
she called out. Rushing to her mother's side, Cinderella learned that her grandmother had vanished suddenly. Tears welled up in Cinderella's eyes as she realized the consequences of her actions. She explained to her mother how her greed for treasure had led to her grandmother's disappearance. Overwhelmed with regret and guilt, Cinderella understood the pain of losing someone dear. Determined to make things right, Cinderella made a difficult decision. She returned all the treasures she had received from the box, sacrificing her desires in exchange for the return of her friends and grandmother. She asked the box to bring back her loved ones. Then, a miraculous thing happened. Everything that Cinderella had put into the box disappeared in an instant. In their place, small statues of everyone who had vanished appeared. But they were only cold, lifeless stone figures. Cinderella felt a wave of sadness wash over her as she realized the consequences of her actions. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she cried and cried, mourning the loss of her loved ones. In her grief, Cinderella's tears fell upon the stone statues, and something extraordinary occurred. The statues began to shimmer and glow, transforming back into the lively beings they once were. Overjoyed, Cinderella hugged each of her friends and her grandmother tightly, tears of happiness now streaming down her face. She apologized profusely for her greed. Filled with relief and gratitude, Cinderella made a decision. She walked to the nearby river and threw the magic box into its depths, ensuring that no one else would fall victim to its tempting promises. From that day forward, Cinderella lived happily ever after, surrounded by the love and forgiveness of her dear friends and family. Hey, little one. Let's meet with a new story tomorrow. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. And share this story with your friends. Now, it is time to sleep. Let's sleep with this magical music. Good night, sweetie. you.